I've always found it, sorry Tommy, I've always found it to be such an integral part of the learning of this information is where you stand, or what you understand about that transitional process, because it really affects the way that we all go about our lives in general, and how easy we tread on the earth, and how softly we can tread in the understanding that there is a long journey in front of us, and what some cultures, I guess, or ideologies term as a finality, being the word death, can really stifle that spiritual growth, and also take away the beautiful learning that takes place when loved ones or friends do transition, and keeping up that contact. You know?
Yes.
And
exactly.
and you know, the local Aboriginal people here were very much about that. They lived in ceremony, in dance, and the beauty that they had and the strength that they had in family, in bringing everyone together around the fire and passing on dreaming and information to the young ones as they come through. And it's such a beautiful family orientated understanding to have that knowledge always around you, so you're always comforted by these sort of challenges which come up.
And that's really part of the alchemy, is to be able to be not so tightly bound, one by the ego and the body, and to loosen up to the subtle perception and communication among the more softly, more refined realms, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they're not gone.
No.
It's just another.
Yeah, another form.
Yeah, another lighter.
Yeah.
But because the body's a bit troublesome, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alicia, speaking of, Danny mentioned Aboriginal. I'm looking at the front cover that you put together. This is Alicia's beautiful book. This one here. It makes me think of the most common symbol that you see with most Aboriginal paintings, and that's the concentric circle. And you've also got the spiral there, as in the galaxy, and it makes me think of 2012 and the alignment, the intergalactic alignment that's occurring as we speak. And that the obvious perspective when Aboriginals draw their concentric circles, so much was just centred on the process of coming together.
Yeah.
That process is fundamental to all processes.
Yeah.
You know, so long as that appreciation is continued, as it is on Earth now, we overcome all barriers, all illusions. You know, and it's just as Danny was saying, in the passing of anyone, in the celebration of anyone, in a ceremony, in a dance, in a musical event, it involves a coming together. And that process is the process. If we continue to do that, consciousness will continue to grow, and we'll communicate through challenges, confrontations, and that process again will continue to drive consciousness. You know, and that feels very much, as we said here with Earth Sanctuary and all the other great light workers around the world, so much is centred on coming together, and just continue that and continue it, and you'll surprise yourself immensely as to what energies start to manifest as a result.
Well, the Hebrew letter within there is the Aleph, and that's the letter that stood before God with no agenda. You know, it's like, well, no ego, I suppose, and just accepting however it happens, whatever it happens, and being at one and receiving and giving and loving, and not resisting, not sort of alienating ourselves from ever, going into the deeper understanding through love, and are willing to be as one.
Overcoming the illusion of separation.
Yes,
you know, it's really,
exactly.
It's an illusion.
You
know,
and that then goes to, doesn't it, a connection with everything. You know, the earth, the plants, the stars, each other's consciousness. Yeah, lovely.
Great. Feel like we're levitating on these seats. That's great. Alicia, should we maybe have a bit of a look at some of your little bottles here and look at some of the colours, just to get an idea from you what you think?
There's only a few of the bottles out.
Okay, that's all right.
We actually have 105 of them.
Yep.
But because the students are working particularly with the energies up to Tiferet, which is the heart centre of the Tree of Life, working through something called calcination, which is the pathway of the breakdown, or taking the rose-coloured glasses off, or the school of hard knocks, right? And then the rebuilding of that through being taken away. And because what most people do, creatures of habit, we want to rebuild our lives that have been changed in the way that's familiar to us. So we want to plonk ourselves down in the same seat. And then, so that awakens the soul a little bit, and then you go up to a sphere called dissolution, which is the dissolving, and that's a moon energy, which enables reflection, but particularly the subconscious mind, which happens sometimes in a dreaming, doesn't it, the coming up. And then you go up to the next step is separation, which is the dreams of knives and things, the separation, as I said before, where the soul starts to vibrate more strongly and shut the ego down. We start to eat better, we don't want alcohol, we don't things that are injurious to our gaining more spiritual vibration, our thinking changes, etc. And then, so that's where, and then the next, the heart centre, if you like, is Tiferet, which is conjunction, and that's where the soul starts to crave its union with the All Spirit. So the individualised spark of God melts back into the oneness of all that is. So we've only got up to there, and we've got the tarot cards, the ancient way that symbolism was put on the tree, with pathways and understanding the symbols, and that the tower is an important symbol and memory in our psyche, as the lightning flash hits the crown chakra, if you like, and the people's falling out of the tree. And this is the pathway that joins the head and the heart. And of course the Twin Towers, you know, that happened, it's wakened us all up. This is a violet colour code. It's the hand of God. It's transformation, transmutation, and we sort of know we've got to change things. And that's the way a lot of the symbols throughout the world were put on the tree. And these are the altered, the changed colour codes. And the way we use those spiritually is that you may choose one, and it's a colour that has transmuted. This is called the unicorn, and there's a little sentence at the bottom, is, you know, this one says the highest vibration of the new watermelon colours, which is a high vibration of pure love, a connection to the fundamental aura through which the signature of new colours is carried. And what we do is a layout of those cards, because on the back there's a use with, and then there's other colours and cards that we build an energetic matrix, and then that fits in with a letter, and that's really how it goes. That you know, that this is, I call this the second wave, and they've made themselves. You know, I think part of it's the crystal energy, part of it's the light, the vibration of light that's actually transmuted the colour. So and sometimes we've had pink go yellow, and that's a phenomena, because in the colour spectrum, red's a primary, with a lot of lights pink, so you can't get yellow.
No.
You know, that kind of thing.